we will win.
All together, we will win.
All together, we will win.
Stop Russia, stop the war.
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 Russia is a terrorist state.
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 Today are the elections in Russia. And we all know what's going to happen in these elections. These elections are not to pick the next president of Russia. No, these elections are to pick the next Putin of Russia. I wonder who's going to win, truly. But fortunately, the Russian opposition is starting to move now. Fortunately, they're finally starting to show a backbone. They're starting to push back in protest against these sham elections. They're pouring paint over the ballots. They're burning the ballots. They're signing for many candidates in the ballots. And that is something good. It's a first step. We all need to start somewhere. And the liberation of the Russian people will have to happen soon. Now that the Ukrainian heroes are fighting, it needs to happen now, not after. There are some Russian battalions fighting against the Russian terrorist regime in Ukraine. And that's good. There should be more of those. A lot more. In fact, it should have happened long ago. We could even say that. However, my friends, we need to spread one message above all others to the whole world. That the war in Ukraine is not merely just a problem of the Ukrainian people. The war in Ukraine is a problem for the whole earth. It's a global problem for everybody. Everybody's skin is in this game. As the saying goes, it's quite funny. No fire is too hot until it's your hide that's burning. It can be said about many people who did not care in 2014 when Ukraine was attacked first. Who did not care 2 years ago. Some of them who still don't care now. But my friends, we live in a global world where every single local problem has a global imprint. Global consequences. The flap of a butterfly's wings can cause a tornado on the other side of the earth. This is an ancient saying, and it could not be held truer than nowadays. Even something small happening on one corner of the earth can have major consequences on the other. And this is not something small. This is a huge deal. Hundreds of thousands of people have died. A lot of them civilians, who the Russian terrorist regime continues to shell, continues to attack, continues to terrorize. That's what we would call a terrorist regime. Indeed. Just around a week ago, the Russians have attacked Odessa with their rockets and with their shelling. They have attacked living quarters where civilians lived. In the first attack, 12 people died, 5 of them children. In the second attack, they tried to assassinate Zelensky because he was having a meeting with some Greek politicians, a Greek delegation, you could say. And those politicians could have been killed in this attack. But did Russia care? Did Russia consider that they might be killing people who are not part of the Ukrainian command and control structure, who had nothing to do with this war? Of course not. They do not care. They stopped caring long ago. This is why the Russians will still have some possibility of imagining a future for themselves. And not only them, but everybody around the world needs to start acting about this cause. To see that the Russian terrorist regime will not stop in Ukraine, but will continue. In fact, it's already set up. It's continuation. The troops in Transnistria, a separatist region of Moldova, have been there ever since the Soviet Union has collapsed. And they're not going anywhere. Not until they are kicked out. For the benefit of the people of Moldova, I hope that they will be able to do as such. I hope that they will be able to kick these troops out and reclaim their sovereignty of their country from the Russian terrorist regime. As many others have lost their sovereignty to their terror all over the world. Right now, as a neo-colonialism being perpetrated by the Russians in sub-Saharan Africa, in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Sudan. In all of these countries have supported isolationist separatist group. All over the place, the Wagner group has their dirty hands all over these places, all over these countries. In fact, we have protesters together with our Sudanese friends who oppose the Wagner intervention in Sudan, who oppose the Russian terrorist regime, and who want to have a better future for themselves and for the whole world. But I'll ask my friends, when we are dealing with entities like Russia, with entities like Ayatollah Iran, with entities like North Korea, diplomacy is never part of the equation. They do not intend to speak to you. They do not intend to give a quid pro quo, an exchange of favors, a compromise. No! They want to have it all. If you give them half of what they want, they'll be unhappy. They will want it all either way. If you give them everything that they are demanding, they will take it, and next time they will demand double. This is how the mentality of the Russian terrorist regime works. And that is why it's in the interest of every single person on earth to stop them. Arm Ukraine as you promised.
Arm Ukraine as you promised.
Arm Ukraine as you promised.
Arm Ukraine as